It didn't work out for my kid. I wanted to do
I don't know what she wants to do. She might just drop music and go into linguistics. I wouldn't be surprised.
Nights on the town are living in. All right, now we're ready.
The last Broadway show, SpongeBob.
There it is. They found me. So, welcome to the Two-Way Street Coffee House. For those of you who are here all the time, my name is John. For those of you who are first-timers, my name is John. So we are so happy to see you here, and we're going to hear some wonderful music tonight. We are virtual again this week, which means you are here in person. That's good. If you couldn't make it, you go to the twowaystreet.org and you can pick up the live stream. We also archive, so if you say, you should have heard her last night, you can say, go to twowaystreet.org and pick up the live stream, because we've got a bunch. So, yeah. We are a listening room. And I say that, quite loudly, because when the performers are performing or I'm talking, we're listening. I always tell everybody, you're going to get one polite from the host, and then I got a hook. So we are a volunteer staff. We are rich in volunteers tonight for some apparent reason. We've got Ruth there working the counter, and Debbie, who's sitting down already. She worked so hard. She did. We've got Jennifer in the back of the room. She's watching for, problems. She's our bouncer. We got Randy working sound. We got Tim holding up that door frame. And we got Joel in a temporary assignment watching the door. Like I say, and my name is? John. Oh, good. I think I finally broke one of our regulars here. She used to call me Bob all the time. I think I finally broke her. We've been in operation for 51 years in this room right here, except for one time when it flooded. So, yeah, it's been I would say 51 years, 52 Fridays in a year. You do the math. Quite a few people have been through this facility. We are a fair trade music venue, which means we support the Traveling Musicians Union Local 1000. Basically, for us, what that boils down to is we pay union scale, because normally, the performer gets a percentage of the door, actually 90% of the door. But if only 2 people show up, they still make union scale. So tonight, we have a lady who started her career on this very stage here at an open mic. We do, and her name is Heather Styka. Since then, she's gone on to fame and fortune, or something like that. Now, there's a flyer on the table that gives you more of an in-depth bio on Heather. And with all of that, are you ready to play?
I am.
Then take it away, Heather.
All right, thanks.
Hello, it's good to see you all. And yes, for those of you who don't maybe know me yet, I don't think there's too many of you. I did start playing, not that precise piano, because there was a different piano 20 years ago, but in this room, in that spot was the first place I ever played publicly when I was 13 at the high school college age open mic. I was sneaking in. I wasn't quite in high school yet. The support of this room, the support of Dave Humphreys, all those years, got me to pursue a life in music. So on that life in music, sometimes you're on the road and you find yourself getting a parking ticket. Sometimes you find yourself getting a series of parking tickets, and sometimes you want to sort of blame someone. Because maybe at the same time there are people getting elected that you really didn't want to get elected, and that can turn into a whole sort of existential crisis. But in the case of writing this song, I just thought a lot about the musical Hamilton and thought about the way that democracy works and wrote this. How is it going? I'm doing okay. Well, let's put it this way. If life is a study between breaking even and breaking apart, I've collected all of the data I need, and now I'm looking at the correlation. Measure my days in parking violations. I just pay and pay and pay. Time moves forward anyway. Ooh, we wanna make it better. Ooh, but we're not sure how. Ooh, take one step forward. Ooh, there's no looking back now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Got there by car in motels and I dreamed of snake bites and oxen and carts. Now I just fill up the tank. Oh, it's the easiest thing to run away. But the consequences leaving home is we find new ones. Spread so thin we're everywhere and nowhere at once, until our atoms drift away. Inside, and we gotta carry it. We gotta carry it. We can't carry it alone. We wanna make it better. Ooh, but we're not sure how. Ooh, there's no looking back now. 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 Thank you. All right. Well, I grew up not all that far from here, but closer to, well, in Addison, but closer to like Bensonville, Wooddale area. And so driving out to my parents' house once I moved to the city, anytime I would be heading down the highway, it just so happens that like by heading to essentially O'Hare Airport, where my parents essentially live, I was always on the same flight pattern as the planes driving along. And so you just be sort of racing these planes above. And if you do it at the right time, it really just sort of seems like they're sort of suspended there. And I always feel like I'm seeing some sort of bizarre celestial phenomenon, like, what is that? Although the other day I saw Jupiter and I was like, that's got to be a plane. No way, that's bright. Like, that can't be a planet. But I also knew that it was the closest that Jupiter has been in 59 years. So it checks out. It looked bright as a plane. You can still catch it. It's still pretty darn close and pretty darn bright. Go out after this and take a look for it. It's the one that's brighter than the others. Except for the moon. That's the other one. Anyway, this is a song about planes and making meaning of things that really don't have a whole lot of meaning, which is to say, the current state of existence. Driving down the highway past O'Hare, planes stretch across the sky like half a dozen stars at Bethlehem. Hard to pinpoint why I'm feeling like the world's about to end. Some folks want to build a wall, some folks are gunning men down. But there's no sense to it all, but sure that's obvious by now. While the ghosts of our worst selves hang around, haunting corridors of binary code. If I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, this would all make sense to me. I realize that those are pretty simple lyrics, so if you would like to sing on that, if I could hear that song more time when it comes back around, feel free. I know this is a singing space. All the neon storefront psychics are being replaced by artisan tacos and yoga studios. Same difference, I guess. Never got my fortune read there anyhow. We slipped under the fence, cemetery in the snow, kissed on a stone bench, souls resting in peace below. Still haven't learned the difference between love and letting go, so I'm just casting new actors for the part of my new hope. If I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, this would all make sense to me. If I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, this would all make sense to me. Ooh. Some days I'm left speechless by the beauty of the world, and some days I'm left speechless by the cruelty of the world, and often in between I don't know what to say. So I drove to Lakeshore from the runway at midnight, mumbling prayers to no one in particular. Keep singing the same song till we finally get the notes right. I look to you to lead us home, oh, holding pattern plain lights. If I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, this would all make sense to me. If I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, if I could hear that song one more time, this might all make sense to me. Ooh. Thanks. Well, whenever I come back here, I think of, how many albums I released here over the years, how many songs were first introduced on this stage, going back to 13 and onward. So that's about 22 years. But this one, I'm intending to do at least a handful from every album that you see over there. The last couple are from my latest. That at this point is not exactly brand new. It's a few years old now because there's this whole pandemic that happened and nothing happened. So I'm gearing up to go back into the studio, but also just sort of readjusting to what comes next. But the amazing thing about getting to record that album called North is that all these songs are backed by, I just was sort of gifted this Danish backing band. I mean, I had to pay them, but they just appeared in northern Wisconsin, and when an entire band from Denmark that knows how to play with each other perfectly just magically appears in a cabin to record with you, well, it was magical. This one's from a much earlier one. I wrote this about my grandmother right before she died, and I was in college, and she started telling me maybe I just started asking more details on the things that I had assumed about her life, including the fact that she hadn't come to Chicago because she was trying to get out of her little town. It was more like her mom said, we're in Iowa. You might consider other places. And so she did. So this is from the point of view of her mother, and it's called Prairie Song. I lived my whole life in these fields, raised a family best as we could do. And prairie fires when the smoke clears, all the earth starts anew. We came here from Nebraska, had to leave when the farming got bad and you children needed shoes. Haven't left this town since. Sometimes I think of the world out there, China and Chicago, California, foreign shores to me and you. Go, go, go from this house you call home, from these prairies that you know. Go, 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 my only daughter, go. You were made for more than what's in store for you. Go. Well, I know you got your eye on the Williams boy. Hard worker with nice strong arms and not too much to say. He reminds me of your father. Now I loved your father, we stuck together through hope and hell. But remember well, if you marry that Williams boy, this town is where you'll stay. So go, go, go from this house you call home, from these prairies that you know. Go, 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 my only daughter, go. You were made for more than what's in store for you. Go. There's a dream that sits inside your heart. I only know that 'cause the same dream was in my own. Dreams of rootless trees and falling leaves, and flying geese making their way far from home. Real oceans not made of tall grass, real mountains instead of silos, and tall, tall buildings that scrape the sky. Go, go, go from this house you call home, from these prairies that you know. Go, 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 my only daughter, go. You are made for more than what's in store for you here. You were made for more than all I've done before you. You were made for more than what is here. So go. Thank you. Well, if you haven't noticed yet, for whatever reason, as a songwriter, I'm obsessed with both staying and going. Those are the two themes. I mean, there's some heartbreak mixed in there, but mostly it's stay, go, go, stay. There's a lot of that. Now that you have pointed out the theme, you're just going to see. Now you can see inside, you know, is a pretty simple theme. So this, I suppose this one's about going. Or maybe more about returning. It's primarily about living in a space where you any city where you spend a good majority of the year trying to remember what summer was like, and thinking, it would be so easy to not do that. I could just not. I could live somewhere where summer was always on my mind and actually surrounding me and not just a figment of my imagination. So. I thought I'd find you in the cities of the north, where summer brings amnesia to our weathered bones. You don't have to love a place for you to call it home, but I think I did. Ooh, well, I went to the Grand Canyon this spring. This whole year was built on bucket lists and reckonings. I ate in Paris, drank in New Orleans, cried in Wyoming. Ooh, sure I'll miss someone, but it's unclear which particular someone is worth my tears. Either way, I'm headed back to the cities of the north. Where we end up is 1/3 intent, 1/3 whether or not all our money's all spent, and 1/3 finding love or trying to begin again, depending on the season. Ooh, I could end up on a front porch on a swing, trading my grand lonely adventures for a house and a ring. And I might be happy if the crickets liked the songs I sing. Ooh, sure I miss someone, but it's unclear which particular someone is worth my tears. Either way, I'm headed back to the cities of the north. If I could quit asking why, the how and where and when might finally align. Oh, 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 I'm not so sure about pursuing happiness. I'd rather chase down those moments that I'm at my best, 'cause no matter how low I get, they can't take that from me. Sure, I miss someone, but it's unclear which particular someone is worth my tears. Either way, I'm headed back to the cities of the north. Either way, I'm headed back to the cities of the north. All right, this one's appropriate to the season. Days are getting shorter, cicadas getting loud, apples getting riper, hanging heavy on the bough. Nights are getting colder, gather wood left from the storm, stack it tall and tidy, wonder it'll keep me warm. Put on the birch log, put on the pine, I'm saving the ash and the oak for another fire that will burn slow through the night. Morning's getting darker, feed the coals till they ignite. Gibbet, Evan, timber, pine, gold, birch, white. You won't be here to tend it, and neither will I. So let's burn it hot and quick now for the thrill of the light. Put on the birch log, put on the pine. I'm saving the ash and the oak for another fire that will burn slow through the night. One of these days, Lord, I will keep a steady burn. Keep a steady burn. My boots are getting restless, stove is getting cold. I'll be back this way after the leaves turn gold. If you're not ready to hold me by the first snowfall, you won't get another chance to hold me at all. Put on the birch log, put on the pine. I'm saving the ash and the oak for another fire that will burn slow through the night. That will burn slow through the night. That will burn slow through the night. If you were wondering, when is she going to play that piano? This is the moment. This is one of the moments. All right. I don't get the chance to play on piano quite nearly as often, so the chances of me making a mistake are like 95%. But pretend like it didn't happen, and we'll all just sail on happily. This is a tune that I I wrote about a small town in northern Wisconsin that I grew up going to, and like one by one, all the businesses sort of left. And I mean, I suppose by the time I was even there as a kid, it was already on, had been on its way out for a good 100 years, perhaps. But what's been interesting is that like the very town that I was like, oh, nothing happens at the band shell. Like I've played that band shell now, and like there have been arts music festivals, and there's another city that I go to, town in Kansas that I went to recently. And part of me could be sad that there's so many closed up storefronts and buildings that aren't happening, but part of me is really excited that they're restoring their local theater. The Midland Theater in Coffeyville, Kansas is getting restored, and it looks so beautiful. So there's always hope amidst it. But anyway, the town is named after a certain mythical city that didn't have a whole lot of hope. So anyway, it's called Atlantis. Jones is selling hotel, gas stations been closed for years now. Mary sick of running the cafe. There's no money and the kids there are smart enough to get out, moving out, running away. Those kids once asked why did they close down the toy store. The time is just say things are quieter now. We drive into the city to get what we need, and the young ones drive into the city instead. Now this town's a ghost town, storefronts are empty, Atlantis, rise and the fall. Everything's closing and everyone's hoping one of these days something will fill up these walls. We came here by the dozens, family and friends at the turn of the century. We built a movie theater, later hotels and drive-ins, built a small town, but it sure had dreams. Now the band shell is empty, besides who would come out to listen if that old stage was filled with song. But years ago, big bands and marching bands played, and everyone came out and sang along. But it's sinking now, yeah, it's going under, like Atlantis under the waves. There'll be nothing left but photos and memories, 'cause no one is left to save it now. We've all moved away. Now this town's a ghost town, storefronts all empty, Atlantis, the rise and the fall. Everything's closing and everyone's hoping one of these days something will fill up these walls. Yeah, one of these days something will fill up these walls. Or nah, all right, let's go with this one. Driving east from Memphis on a February night. Windows down and the heat turned up, sky spilling with starlight. Someone gave me $50 'cause he liked the songs I write. Oh, I know a sparrow can learn to sing. Someday I'll learn to be funny and to song on guitar. And everyone will love me, and I'll drive the fastest car. So I can outrun the empty pain that trails me as I go. Oh, I know a sparrow can learn to sing. A sparrow can learn to sing. I know a sparrow can learn to sing. A sparrow can learn to sing. Right now someone's talking about Jesus. Right now someone's fighting a war. Right now I'm still trying to understand just what I'm singing for. 'Cause there's nothing I could tell you that in your heart you don't already know. I know a sparrow can learn to sing. A sparrow can learn to sing. I know a sparrow can learn to sing. A sparrow can learn to sing. I'm not going to trip. All right, I'm going to do a couple more here, and then we'll take a little break, and then we'll be back. Thank you so much for coming out to share your Friday night. Those are both from an album called Lifeboats for Atlantis. Let's do this, yeah. All right, this one goes out to my dad, who is actually running sound tonight. Well, if you don't know this, the volunteer who is not doing her job, the one who is just taking it easy at the table, is my mom. My dad's working a little harder tonight. But they both work very hard when they come here, and so do all the volunteers, and I love them all. I just happen to be biologically related to two of them, so. Funny thing about my father. He is the best and worst person to go on a road trip with. Good news, at any given moment you might uncover something totally delightful and surprising, and he is the first person to say, yes, of course we're going to drive 10 miles out of our way to see that covered bridge. The bad news is, like, good luck getting anywhere on time. Or just like if you're just tired and you don't really feel like seeing another covered bridge, too bad. Some of that has sort of leaked into my touring life. I think I found the happy medium of lingering about and getting into trouble while also getting there on time. But this is a song about that. My father took long walks down the streets at night. Every time that we drove to a new town, he wanted to understand what was in each town's heart. After the lights were out, well, I am my father's daughter, wandering too far, and promising I will be home soon. Soon is two different words to me and to you. Now patience is a virtue that I have rarely known, and never when I'm waiting to get back on the road My greatest sin is lust for somewhere new to go. My restless heart would turn its back on everything it knows. 'Cause I am the road's lover, yearning for distant lands, and promising I'll be home soon. Soon is two different words to me and to you. Now I'm trying to stop wanting, stop chasing impermanent things, stop seeking answers in the clouds. 'Cause I've flown through clouds before and they are just a foggy haze. It's the light that turns them colors at the eve of the day. But I am my own tempter, all caught up with desire, and promising I will be home soon. Soon is two different words to me and to you. Well, I am my father's daughter, wandering too far, promising I will be home soon. Soon is two different words to me and to you. To me and to you. Thank you. I promise I don't have the big C word. It was like a breeze. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more here, and then we'll take a little breather. During that breather, I'm gonna be standing right there so that no one is standing by the CDs confused. I can assist you if you have questions about what song was on what album or whatever. But here's the deal. CDs are less and less of a thing. I have them. And if your car or your home still has a CD player in it, I want to honor and value that. So they're $15 a piece, but it says 2 for $20. If you don't have the old ones and you want the old ones, hand me a $20 bill and enjoy the discography, honestly. So we'll just, get one of each. Let's make a deal. If you'd like to hear the other CDs, I'm happy to assist you towards hearing them. But I'm really exceptionally proud of the latest one. And also, if you do listen on whatever streaming places, feel free to listen there. Something's funny, just a little bit funny. The teensiest bit funny. Okay. All right, so this is from the new album. It is the reason that I have hats that say "Please Be Kind," because this song is called "Please Be Kind." I know the story. I know the score. I have heard this melody a dozen times before. I've been taken by the hand. I have danced this very floor. Please be kind, 'cause you're the kind that I fall for. Every pair of blue eyes I can't ignore. Every charming gentleman who holds up in the door. Every clown who makes me laugh till I can't laugh anymore. Please be kind, 'cause you're the kind that I fall for. If I made a list of everything I can't resist, honest, you might think I was describing you. And if I can't have your kisses, and I've been wasting all my wishes, I don't know what I would do. I know the story. God help me, I once swore I wouldn't let my heart again swim this far from the shore. Now I'm treading water in the deep. I don't care what's in store. Please be kind, 'cause you're the kind that I fall for. Thank you. Be back in a minute.
Every week they put this mic in a different spot, and so it's up to me to find it, and it looks like good news I found it. So we'll take a short break. Time to refill your coffee cups. General chit chat is now allowed. There's no hook involved. And oh, by the way, like Heather was saying, she's got merch there. But if there's a rush over there, we've also got some of her CDs up on the counter, so you don't have to knock somebody down to get one. So I think that that about does it for now. We'll take a short break, and we'll come back for a whole new second set. See you soon.
Yeah, I saw you sneak in, and I was like, how's that possible? I've already been warned that he wasn't gonna be there. No, I don't. Yeah. Except for my brother that doesn't exist anymore. He's been here.
When he actually
and spiders everywhere.
Oh, I got it.
You should write to her, that lady took over for Rick.
Yeah, we chatted. Then I got to send all the CDs again. Well, I'm sure Rich wants like a chicken. She gets all the CDs over there.
find out.
Just ask her. I was just saying, I was talking about a child, and he said to ask you if you felt like it. Because we just saw it yesterday.
I'm sure she's very nice.
So she knows all the music people.
garden club. Because one teacher is like the head of the garden. He's a bee biologist. And, yeah. Then I love him real fast on garden. Meditate, talk about philosophy and poetry. Orange University. Appleton, Wisconsin. No, there is a Lawrence, Kansas. But there's Lawrence. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just lovely day.
Hello, there we are. Every week I come up here, and my biggest fear is tripping on a cord. There's snakes everywhere, snakes everywhere. So, and like I say, every week they put my mic in a different spot, and I have to find it anyway. But I did. Just to let you know, there's a celebrity in the house again tonight. A man, a legend, a guy who can remember when Mr. Dave Humphrey, one of the original guys here in the house tonight. And he's starting to become more of a regular, so eventually I may not, make a big deal out of it. But yeah. Just to let you know, there should be on the tables a sign up for volunteers. We're always in search of people to pour coffee and or take my job. So if you're interested, name, email, phone number, and you'll give them to Jennifer, who's way in the back of the room, sitting with Joel. Just to let you know, next week we've got John Shane coming in, and we've got people pretty much booked the rest of this year and into next year already. Turns out this is kind of a popular place to play. So if you say to yourself, I don't know, on the back of these sheets, there's a list of performers who are coming in, and it looks like it takes us through the end of November. And there's some powerful, I'm popping my peas, coming through here. So what else? Tomorrow, October 1st, can you believe it, October? There's a sing-along in this room from 2 to 4. You can sing, you can bring an instrument, you can just enjoy the music. 2 to 4. And then October the 8th. Let's see, next week we're here on the 7th, but the Acoustic Wren are there on October the 8th. And Randy, can you just raise up and say a few words?
Sure. We're thrilled. It's an artist we've never had before. She used to just go by the name Ellis. Now she's using her full name, Ellis Delaney. Great songwriter, a lot of energy, puts on a great show. And then opening the night is a dear friend from Chicago, Emily White. So it's going to be a great
Woohoo!
Flyers are out there, and my lovely wife, who's raising her hand, will sell you a ticket. So hey, you can just call. So. Yep.
Yeah, those guys do it once a month during the fall and winter and spring. They take the summers off. We are here 52 weeks out of the year, unless we have a hurricane.
Not that we're comparing or anything.
There's an open mic coming up, October the 14th. So not next Friday, but the following Friday is an open mic. And so if you say to yourself, I could do that, so that'll be a big chance. You'll get to come up on stage, sing a couple of songs, recite a poem. The first time I did it, my wife didn't think I was going to have the guts to do it. She kept saying, "You're probably going to chicken out." But she came with me to hold my hand, and I told her, if all musicians wear hats, if I had a hat, I could do it. So you'll never guess what I got for my birthday. 2 hats. And until I got up here and the words started coming out, she kept saying, "He's not going to do it, he's not going to do it." Holy cow, he's doing it. So since then, you can kind of tell I'm not too shy anymore. And it's like that. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. So Heather, if you want to get it start on your second set, I'll get out of your way.
Let's do it. Thank you, John. All right. Well, this is a song I wrote after some years ago. I got to go to Japan for a little while, and went walking in this place in the mountains with there were all these cedar trees, but also all of these graves. But because I can't actually read Japanese, you don't get distracted by names, dates, any of those things. It's just there. When I'm in our cemeteries, I'm always like, "Oh, that's interesting. I wonder when they were born." I'm like, "Gosh, it would have been wild to be living in 1904. I wonder what." Yeah, and then before I know it, my brain is 1,000 different places. But it was a very different experience there in the mountains. So this is what I wrote afterwards. Here we go. We came to the mountain to understand the silence, see the patterns of hills and walls below, but still my questions are not what I know. What did we think we'd find on the other side of the world? Traveling to great heights, but the stones whisper the same thing. Everywhere the sun rises, everywhere the moon. We came seeking answers. The nameless stone stood silent. See the trees and moss all whisper nothing, nothing, nothing. Ashes that were buried there told many stories, each one with the same ending. What do you think we'd find on the other side of the world? Traveling to great heights, but the stones whisper the same thing. Everywhere the sun rises, everywhere the moon.
That's just gonna happen like that. All right. Well, well, well. How about a catchy one now that we're in a mood? In this song, there's a part where I sing "Oh." That's the lyrics, "Oh." You can figure it out, I bet, if you'd like to join in on that part. This is from a few albums back, an album called While This Planet Spins Beneath Our Feet. And I still love to play it. But it's about that feeling of meeting someone who is not so much bad, in fact, they're exceptionally good in some ways, and therefore you must put your hand over your emotional wallet. Maybe avoid eye contact a little bit. I'm a brave aviator in the stories that I write. Fearless lion tamer, doing it all every night. And there's nothing I won't tell when I'm behind my guitar. But when I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. Yeah, when I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. Oh. Let's try that. I've driven through the storm with my hands from behind the wheel. I've not been too proud to knock on doors or beg for a meal. I'm a wholehearted chance taker, not afraid to fall apart. But when I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. Yeah, when I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. Oh, oh. There's one way I'm smart. When I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. Yeah, when I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. Oh, oh. Slaying dragons, but men wearing your clothes. With all your good intentions, all your disarming prose. So I grasp these cords like a talisman to protect against love's star. And when I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart. You can call me a fool, but there's one way I'm smart. I'm standing beside you, I am careful with my heart.
Thank you.
I do not like fall allergies one bit. It's a shame because it's my favorite season by a long shot. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. All right, this is one of the new ones. You get some new ones in here now.
right, so every August, if you find yourself able to get to a place that is dark in mid-August, you will see the Perseid meteor shower. In fact, I went there. I've been to the Perseid meteor shower many times with my family, and once with Sue Fink, who's in this room. She's actually the friend I speak of in this song. But this is a song about that and nuclear annihilation. Also coffee and grapefruits, which I learned after the fact. Apparently the combination of coffee and grapefruit really heightens people's anxiety. It's like a chemical process. So the fact that people were doing that, at the peak of the Cold War a lot is really interesting. And I was enjoying coffee and grapefruits at the peak of what was going to be the next whatever. So. Coffee and a grapefruit and another morning. How strange to feel surprised that we're okay. They're flirting with annihilation, giving warnings that they might press the button any day. Now I've been thinking about the eclipse, about the phases of the moon, how a shadow is just some place that the sunlight can't pass through. If this whole planet's moving, then the shadow's moving too. It comes and goes, it's inevitable. The other day I read that truth is when your head and heart agree. All in all, I'm doing fine, but I can't recall that happening to me. You wanna go to Nova Scotia, 'cause you've never been. I remember when I first went there alone. I ate homemade bread and pickles, sat on the sand, spent the evening collecting shells and stones. Now I've been trying to find the words to explain just how I feel, but that's a hard task 'cause I don't really know. But I'll set that aside to watch the coming of the tide. If you want to go to Nova Scotia, we should go. The other day I read that truth is when your head and heart agree. All in all, I'm doing fine, but I can't recall that happening to me. Last night, some friends and I went to an open field to watch the Perseids fall down from the sky, making wishes on every shooting star. Some were small and quick, some were long and bright. Well, it's good I'm not a gambler, 'cause I don't know when to quit. When a perfect moment passes, I just want another hit, waiting for another meteor to burn through brightly lit. Can we stay to catch another one? The other day I read that truth is when your head and heart agree. All in all, I'm doing fine, but I can't recall that happening to me. The other day I read that truth is when your head and heart agree. Until they align, I'm just waiting for the truth to come to me. right, this is another newish one, not recorded anywhere yet. Although there's a couple videos up of these. If you, we did a recording session at this barn, this like barn from the 1700s in like Woodstock, New York. It was pretty fun. So I guess there are recordings, but there aren't CDs. You just have to go online and watch videos of me if you want to hear these. Dave Humphreys knows about all this. When I was, between the ages of like 14 to 18 or so, the primary place where I would meet individuals to date was here in this space. Because they were all musicians, and I didn't like any of the people at my school because they were boring. And so it really was more like you'd sort of go to like practice songs, and then like before you knew it, like you were a couple or whatever. And then we were that monthly couple of the open mic, of the high school college age open mic. It's not so much that I like went through a series of them, but like the two people that I did date in high school I met here in this room. And both of them lived really far up north, so I was always sort of driving up practically to the border for one of them, which I think I probably did on purpose. I think it was really convenient to date someone who lived really far, because that meant that like me and my brand new driver's license could take the 96 Sunfire as far as we could go. Do you remember those days when all it took to make your head spin was a drive down 41? We didn't know where we were. You were working at Jay's, selling tobacco and Gatorade. I worked hard to fit with your friends. When I'd sit in on band practice Wednesdays, and you were a bad idea. So close, I fell in love. You my mouth, you my flame. It's been 19 years and change. You named your band after my street. I went to shows that you were playing. I got good at so many things, but I never got good at staying. No, I never got good at staying. Days when all it took to make your head spin was fooling around in the basement till your mom came home from work late. You were amazed when I painted my eyelids silver. We went to some party on New Year's 2003. You wouldn't take your eyes off my face. You drank me in like water, so of course I fell in love. You my temple, you my priest, me your sacrificial feast. You named your band after my street. I went to shows that you were playing. I got good at so many things, but not one of them was staying. No, I never got good at staying. Oh, I never got good at staying. Settled down with a high school sweetheart. I got out to chase my doubts. Every year I restart. Hallelujah, for getting out clean. Hallelujah for escaping. I got good at so many things, but not one of them was staying. No, I never got good at. No, I never got good at. Oh, I never got good at. one from the first record I have over there, Travel in Teacups. I wrote this, I had a professor, Hugh Grassi, at DePaul University, who would occasionally break into song during his lectures. And I wrote down many of the things he had to say. But one of the things he had to say, he broke into Eleanor Rigby, and he was like, "Why are they lonely? Because they're not together, duh." I was like, oh. It's profound. And it was like, that's kind of a good point. I guess there's something to that. So simple. Where do they all come from? They're just hanging out separately. That's it. That's all that comes to it. So I wrote this song, and I gave him a little autographed copy of it. And funny thing is, I actually ran into him. He's come to a number of concerts, and he goes to some of these events. So if you ever run into a man named Hugh Grassi, and you'll see him around the folk scene, say hi. Nope, that's way too low. I realize now that I haven't played this publicly since 2010 or so, and that this probably needs to be capered here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. You don't know that you're lonely. I won't admit I'm lonely too. We're quite the pair, lonely together, 'cause lonely's what we like to do. And I guess if we wanted, we could join forces. After all, one week too. But I'd have to admit that I'm feeling lonely, and it's something I'll never do. You see, it's quite the paradox, really. All the lonely people I never know. I won't bother asking where they all came from, 'cause I've seen all the places that they go. And I guess if we wanted, we'd make it all better. Make sure the wounds of division are through, but we have to admit that we're feeling lonely, and that's something we'll never do. You don't know that you're lonely. I won't admit I'm lonely too. We hide in our work and our beds and our houses, and we hide in the books and the bars and the news. And I guess if we wanted, we'd find a solution. Guess if I wanted, I'd stop hiding from you. But I'd have to admit that I'm feeling lonely, and that's something I'll never do. No changing plans. Okay, yeah, this one is I'm gonna do one that you can sing along on. Pretty much everywhere in Chicago these days, or beyond, there's a certain pocket of the folk community that have all been touched by the light of Jenny Benneman, and every last one of us has a haiku song. Like, if there's just so many out there, and I love that they keep, sort of proliferating. At this point, it's like shorthand to be like, yeah, so there's this person, Jenny Benneman. It's like, oh, haiku song, here we go. And I love hearing the fellow haiku songs out in the wild. But this was my take on one of her haiku that goes, what was the original one? I guess it was precisely the way that I used it, isn't it? It's word for word. In praise of those who, appraising the odds, decide to try anyway. I liked that a lot, and I was thinking about my friend Campbell, who was probably the best songwriter, one of the top ones I've ever heard in my life, and he is now, I think, somewhere in Smiths Falls-ish, Ontario, building houses or something of that nature. I don't know, building a life, and not doing it with music at the core of it. He's still going to write the songs, but he also wants to do other things for financial reasons. And I found myself teaching this past year. I taught high school English for a year, and I will do it again. But I had to readjust my sort of mentality about like what it means to be a real musician. I mean, I spent 10 years doing this primarily, traveling and living on the road and making a living as a touring musician, which was an incredibly fun and satisfying balancing act, but the pandemic sort of shut that down, and it was also a wake-up call for many of us, in which we found that in some ways patterns, reliability, routine aren't the worst thing in the world at times. So I'm somewhere in the middle on that, but still making sense of how that feels. But this goes out to every artist of every kind who doesn't generally pay the bills with their art, but are equally as important as creators. Here's a song in praise of those who, appraising the odds, decide to try anyway. Here's to the hopeless romantics. Here's to the artists and fools, waiting tables, no fame to our name, side by side with the riverboat gamblers. We set our course, we bet every dime. Here's to those who've been burnt to know better, but still won't hold back this time. The best songs I know, written by friends looking for 3 chords and the truth. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Wanna try that with me? Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. I got this picture of an informal reunion, old friends sitting out on the stoop. 'Cause we've now reached the age where we look back and say, ain't it funny what we did and what we didn't do. Side by side, we pile the pyre high with all of time's gradual sacrifice. Here's to those who gave their hours to something worth paying the price. The best songs I know, written by friends looking for 3 chords and the truth. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Here at the cathedral of cedar and pine, I lost my old hymnal, forgot every line. I can't decide if I mind. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. Building houses, working doubles, getting in and out of trouble. I do secretly have time for many things. Not many, just a couple more. I thought I didn't have time for these, and I took them out of the first set, but I'm gonna smush them back in. Is this where it's capoed? It is, yeah. Okay. So I don't, which is to say, not capoed. I love the moon, but I am not, I have to admit within myself, a moon personality. Some people might say that I am, but I know at the core of me that for all my moodiness, I'm still very much like in the world, more of a sunshine kind of creature, which is funny because like internally I'm not sunshine and rainbows, but that's what people get. I don't know. Call me polite, call me Midwestern. What they're gonna get is sunshiny directness. None of this mysterious moon energy. That's not me. And so this is a song about that. I saw that you were looking for a little light, so I shone my warmth on you. Well, I tried to be your sunshine, but all along you were in love with the moon. She comes and she goes, when she returns she's still cold, but none of that matters to you. Well, I tried to be your sunshine, but all along you were in love with the moon. The anxious sun burns too hot, tries too hard, moves too fast. My burning heart glows so bright, I can see a sign shine right through my chest. There's no mystery shrouding me. Could you love what you see and what you get? Was every laugh and every smile misplaced, wasted on you? 'Cause I tried to be your sunshine, but all along you were in love with the moon. Well, I tried to be your sunshine, but all along you were in love with the moon. All right, so I'm going to do two more, and then you're going to clap a lot, and it'll be like, ah, and then I'm going to step over there to that piano, and then, like, maybe if you're lucky, I'll do an encore. I like to know what's coming up. I don't like the uncertainty. Just so you know, 2 songs, then pretend encore. It's a real encore, you just know about it. It's not a surprise. All right, this is, there's a quote by, who was it actually? I think I was attributing it to Rumi, but it might not originally be from Rumi, but the quote is, we're all just walking each other home. think I wanted it to be roomy. I think it's someone much more recent than that, actually, but equally wise, perhaps.
Someone's side tonight. We're all just walking each other home while this planet spins beneath our feet. And sometimes it seems the horizon's too far, but it's never moving a handful of miles from wherever we are. We're all just walking each other home while this planet spins beneath our feet. Your wagon to an undeserving star. You've waited so long, saving your secrets inside a mason jar. And I know that you know you're more than enough, but if you ever need a reminder, let this song repeat until you believe. We're all just walking each other home while this planet spins beneath our feet. This planet spins beneath our feet.
Okay, I got it. This was not in the original set list, but I'd like to close out on it, partly by request and partly by a change of heart on me. If you pick up the lyrics, please sing along. Thank you for hanging out and for coming out and supporting this wonderful venue. Take a look at their calendar, keep coming out even as things get colder, and this is a place of warmth in the cold. And thank you to all of the volunteers, including the ones I'm not related to, especially the ones I'm not related to. Arming ourselves against the apocalypse with Leonard Cohen songs. I went down to Coney Island, trying to chase down Woody Guthrie, ask if this land's still my land too. Every shot, every word that is fine. There's no way to make it okay, but let me love harder, love harder, love harder than the hate. Oh, let me love harder, love harder, love harder than
that feels like a dream, playing guitar in a hotel bed. Whether a channel and the news, any channel that you choose, it's more storms ahead. Every shot, every word that is fire, there's no way to make it okay, but let me love harder, love harder, love harder than the hate. Oh, let me love harder, love harder, love harder than the hate. Now I love this country, I've been through every state. Blowing red, we all want to make it great. But in the whole expanse of history, what good ever came from hate? Well, I heard a choir of refugees singing this little lad of mine. I know there's work to do, we can't just sing the dark away. But it's a place to start, and I need a place to start to love harder than the hate. Every shot, every word that is fire, there's no way to make it okay, but let me love harder, love harder, love harder than the hate. Oh, let me love harder, love harder, love harder than the hate.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
She kind of stole my thunder, you know. Every week I get up here and I tell them no one gets out of the coffee house about an encore. And what did Heather do? She stole my thunder.
What you don't know, John, is that like I do it at any show, just to be clear that there will be no unforeseen encores. Encores that we plan together, sure.
Sure.
But unforeseen encores, no. I can't plan for that.
Whip out your kazoo and rip it off.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I'm going to get out of the way because I think you'd as soon hear her rather than me.
Thank you, John. Yeah, let's end on this one. I live in Chicago, and I have since moving out of St. Illinois. There was a 2-year stint of living in Maine and certainly a lot of traveling away, but other than that, it's always been Chicago kind of pulling me back. And I have a near constant thought in my head that maybe I'll leave. It's pretty constant. And there's like daily activities that make me think like I really will leave, and then I don't because I love it. But we'll see. This song has proven true for probably a decade now, and here we are. But just a couple days ago, I went to this very harbor. The song's called Diversey Harbor, and when I go walking, that's the harbor I end up at. And I just look out, and there's the green light and the red light and the skyline, and the ships can come in or out, but it's a beautiful space to watch all that happen. I'm sitting by the lanes of Diversey Harbor, running green and blowing, helping guide ships in.
makes my sense. Ones that are moving, dreaming of the places my new life could begin. Chicago, you've made a liar out of me. Oh, you're saying that I'm leaving, but here I am walking the streets. There's a million places I could be, and I might like them better. But sometimes I think this city's all that's holding me together. Winter ends and rains come down, summer days are hot as ever. Johnny's headed to work, sails moving south. We're going to the East Coast and the West Coast and Australia. You are calling us back home, you are calling us now. Chicago, you made a liar out of me. I'm saying that I'm leaving, but here I am walking the streets. There's a million places I could be, and I might like them better. But sometimes I think this city's all that's holding me together. Silent songs from somewhere where the grass is greener. If I steer my own ship onto that rocky shore, your towers, like a lighthouse, will beckon me home. The city of big shoulders, open arms, will guide my oars. Chicago made a light out of me. I'm saying that I'm leaving, but here I am walking the streets. There's a million places I could be, and I might like them better. But sometimes I think this city's all that's holding me together. Yeah, sometimes I think this city's all that's holding me. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.